Every December, the motorsports world converges on Indianapolis, the world's center of racing. Everyone is here for the Performance Racing Industry Show. Thousands of vendors from all over the world show off their wares, go fast parts and race cars everywhere. So buckle up for Motorhead Garage and week 2 of our coverage from PRI.
Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Welcome back for the second week in a row to our coverage of the Performance Racing Industry Show in Indianapolis. You are going to love some of the technology you see here on the show today. In fact, a lot of the technology in motorsports makes its way to your daily driver. So there's something for everyone here at the PRI Show. Let's get revved up. It's week number 2 of our coverage here on Motorhead Garage. If you've been to any racetrack or seen one on TV, you've seen the name Molly on the side of a race car or around the track. Now, Molly's famous because they made the first aluminum piston back in the 1920s. And Eric, how have you guys at Molly been innovating ever since?
Well, it started with a single aluminum piston in two brothers' garages over in Germany. And since then, we've developed into a global company that has locations worldwide. We manufacture everything from aluminum pistons, diesel pistons, truck pistons, car pistons. And what we do specifically are motorsport forged pistons for the racing and performance enthusiasts. We take that 100+ years of product development, product machining, technology, and efficiency, and we build that into every part that we have. It's not something you can see when you open the box, but it's inherently baked into every part.
You've revolutionized the industry with the pistons that you make. Now you're revolutionizing it by the way you're delivering them. So what do you have for the folks that's going to make their job a lot easier?
We introduced it as the Power Pack. The Power Pack is a complete set of forged pistons with rings included, pins, clips, everything that you need to hang that and assemble it on a connecting rod.
So what do you guys need to know if I've got an engine and I want to go racing? What do you need to know about delivering pistons to me?
It all starts with the application. Not just vehicle, engine type, etc., but how you're going to use it. It makes a big difference in how you're going to use it because there can be 2 different pistons for the same engine or multiple options, but how you're going to use it ultimately is what narrows you down into the right part number.
What was the engine building process like before the Power Pack came along?
A builder would order a set of pistons, he would have to order the rings and sometimes order the pins to go with it. It was up to the engine builder to make sure all of those components worked together. Fitted the rings, tolerances, clearances, it all relied on the engine builder to make sure that was correct. We've changed that with the Power Pack by engineering a complete system that he can pull out of the box, not have to think twice about, and work on getting assembly and prep done.
If you're building an engine, Molly Motorsports Power Pack makes it simple and it makes it affordable. You can find them at mollymotorsports.com. If you are racing, you're going to trailer your race car, and that means there's a lot of valuable stuff inside that trailer, and you want to protect it. Believe it or not, trailer thefts are way up, and there's only one way to protect your trailer. It's with trailer alarms. Now, Lyle, trailer alarms has been around for 20 years. You are the name in trailer protection. What are the features of a trailer alarm?
So all of our systems will flash the running lights on the trailer, lock up the electric brakes, and sound a 120 decibel siren. And that's anywhere from our base unit all the way up to our G2 system. And our G2 system is new for this year.
Can I install this myself, or do I have to go to a dealer?
Everything is self-installed. We've got videos on our website. We also have installation instructions that you can download even before you purchase the system. It just makes you feel more confident that your equipment is protected.
What inspired this 20 years ago?
Had a buddy of mine have his race trailer broken into twice, and so I thought there's got to be something out there, and at the time I thought, you know, I can be the Jegs of trailer security, and so now we've gone beyond that, and we are the trailer security system out there.
You mentioned the original, you mentioned the G2.
Yes.
What is different and what's new about the G2?
So the G2 system we brought in-house. We hired our own programmers. We've gone direct with GPS suppliers, and so we can control everything right there in-house and make everything more efficient.
We'll move over here to Ashley Aftal. She's a micro sprint driver, and you're going around the country with your micro sprint in your trailer. So how much peace of mind does it give you to know you have a trailer alarm system on your trailer?
Oh, a lot of peace of mind, especially us being just such a small team. You know, I always say if you can spend $100,000 on your racing equipment, why can't you spend, you know, $1,000 on something to protect it? So it's definitely very, very helpful when we're traveling on the roads knowing that's protected.
Protect your investment, protect your race car. It'll save you a whole lot of money if you go to traileralarms.com. Motorhead Garage from the PRI Show returns after this. Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. DragonFireTools.com, industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Back home again in Indiana at the PRI Show. This is Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Well, you can make all the horsepower in the world, but it's not any good if you're not enjoying actually driving the car. That's where Mantic Clutches comes in. Now, Jeff, how do you make the racing and the driving experience more pleasant for the driver?
That's a good question. We get that a lot, actually. And that's one of the things that sets us apart. The real key is using a premium friction material, which we do. And even more importantly, I can show you guys real quick. You want to put some cushion in the disc itself. And it doesn't look like much, but that really makes it drive nice, and it gives you a good transition between whoa to go, and that's what makes it enjoyable.
What's the performance like with a Mantic Clutch?
So we can handle anything from about 600 horsepower to 2,000, and again, it drives like an OE clutch. Pedal effort's light, engagement smooth, and we can even keep it fairly quiet.
What's the range of vehicles we're talking? Who is using clutches from Mantic?
Oh, sure. We've got almost all the domestic stuff covered. The Mustangs, the Corvettes, the Vipers, the Hellcats, kind of a Dodge guy, a little soft spot there. We've started doing a lot of the retrofit stuff for the older small block Chevys, older Mopars, even some 2JZ stuff. So we're constantly looking to add. So any project that you have, feel free to reach out to us. Love to work with you.
If I'm building a motor, how do I get a hold of Mantic, and how do I find out what I need from you?
Best bet is to call us direct. You may actually get stuck talking to me if you're really unlucky, but if we know the vehicle type, like you say you're an 11 through 17 Mustang, and then most importantly, let us know what you want to do with the vehicle. If it's purely a weekend driver, great. If it's a road race car, great. Something in between, all the better. We can build you what you need.
He said it all. They can build you what you need. ManticClutchUSA.com on the interwebs. Race, destroy, clamp tight, repeat. Well, the best way to make sure you can repeat is to use a clamp tight tool. Now, Kevin, clamp tight's here at the Performance Racing Industry Show. Why is it important for you to be here among all the racers?
For that lifestyle, you're destroying your cars every weekend. Clamp tight will help you put it back together. Doesn't matter what's going on under the hood, your air, your fuel, your oil pressure. Clamp tight can fix it, get you back on the racetrack doing what you love.
Now, if you're not familiar with the clamp tight tool, you're probably using a worm gear clamp like this. Now, Kevin, why is a clamp tight clamp better than one of these?
So these always have a flat spot. You're tightening it up from this side here, you're pulling that. Pressures, they're releasing, they're contracting the hose, that kind of thing. You're getting that flat spot. That's why you're popping pressures off. You start running high pressures, this thing works itself loose. Now you're leaking oil, you're leaking fuel. That's a no-go.
And with the clamp tight tool, you're essentially using a wire all the way around. And how does that seal better?
It actually goes 360 degrees all the way around that hose, so you don't have those flat spots. So there's the same pressure here all the way around, so there's nowhere for you to have that leak.
And they're also a big plus on barb fittings. How do they work there?
You're on both sides of those barb fittings, so there's no slippage. Usually with a traditional hose clamp, you're on one side or the other. It doesn't seal there very well. This one, there's no way for it to slip off. You're on both sides of that barb, holding it nice and tight.
And vibration's not going to work this thing loose. Now, what if I do need to remove it and make a repair?
Simply just pull it off like this. Just bend those tabs over, give it a nice little pull, and it comes right back off. So.
Now, we've seen Lund hoses. How versatile is the clamp tight tool? What else can we use it for in the pits and around the race car?
You can put metal back together like it feels like a tack welded fitting. You can use it on your hydraulic lines, on the trailers, things like that. It works fuel, air, water. If you're holding pressure, the clamp tight tool can do it.
The clamp tight tool is available at clamptighttools.com. You can see how versatile it is. You need one of these in your toolbox. We're still on a hot lap around PRI here on Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Still lots more to come. It's time for our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. This week, Clay Milliken. He's a 6-time IHRA Top Fuel champion. Clay, you came over to the NHRA in 2008. You've been trying ever since. You finally got a U.S. Nationals win in 2024. How has your life changed now that you've won the U.S. Nationals?
I can tell you one of the first things that I have noticed the following races after that. I'm not just Clay Milliken anymore. I am U.S. Nationals champion Clay Milliken.
How do you approach racing differently now that you've won the biggest race?
Well, the biggest problem I've had, at least this week, is wearing this around, making my hand a little heavy. But to be honest with you, you just got to continue doing what you did to win the U.S. Nationals. Turn them wind lights on. You got to have a good team behind you. And we certainly got that. Rick Ware Racing stepped in a few years ago and bought our Top Fuel team, and it's just been moved forward ever since.
You see lots of amazing gear at the PRI Show and lots of amazing people, including U.S. Nationals champion Clay Milliken. He's our PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week.
Well, look at that. I pulled a $100 bill out of my pocket. I think I'll stop and get an alignment. That's not really how it happens, is it? You either got some tire wear or your car's pulling. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. That's right, we're talking about alignments. And when it comes to alignments, all your suspension has to be in good shape, or don't even bother getting alignment. It's not gonna hold. You see the checklist? There's a lot going on there. What do you wanna do? Well, you wanna take it on a test drive. I like to put 2 hands on the steering wheel and make sure it's not pulling out of your hand. You can't go 5 miles down the road and it's gonna go straight. That's not gonna happen. So just hold your fingers there, let it pull, make sure it's not pulling it out of your hand. If it is, it starts pulling or swerving, it's probably time to get an alignment. And when we're talking about alignment, well, there's 3 angles. Let's start out with caster. Now, caster's not a tire wearing angle, but this is interactive, so everybody get up and kind of join me here. I can do it with my arms and kind of show you. If this is the spindle in the car and I go forward, well, if you go forward, that's positive caster. The wheels are forward in the well. If I go back like this is negative caster. Now, most cars have positive caster built into them. It helps with returnability of the steering wheel, and a good example is a chopper has massive positive caster. You ever rode a bike and took your hands off and it goes straight? That's why. Shop and buggy in the store? Well, that's negative caster. It's all over the road, so you want positive caster. Next one is camber. That's the inward and outward tilting of the tires. Now, I could tilt them in like this, and that would be negative camber, and I could tilt them out. That would be positive camber. You want them straight up and down. You can see that's going to wear on the inside, and that's going to wear on the outside of the tires. Camber is a tire wearing angle. Last but not least is toe, and that's pretty easy. You got toe in and you got toe out. Now, toe is the most tire wearing angle. If it's in like this, you're gonna scrub the tires from the outside to the inside. If it's toed out like this, you're gonna go from the inside to the outside as you're going down the road. You could just take a tape measure, go to the front of the tires and the rear of the tires and get your toe pretty close. What are we looking at? Well, feathering there is ripping from the toe. Overinflation, too much air. Underinflation, not enough air. One side wear, that could be camber, and cupping is because of shocks. But Len, that's great, but tire wear, that actually causes bad gas mileage. You want the engine running good too, don't you?
You do, and you want to make sure once you get all this stuff squared away, you want to make sure that you're going to chase those extra couple miles per gallon. You can do that with fuel additives. We've got a pile of fuel additives for any of your needs depending on what you're driving.
Now, I want to clean up my injectors or just put it in there every time? How do we work with fuel additives?
Well, once again, we've got product for all of those. So we've got a once every 4,000 miles. That's our performance improver. That's probably one of our most popular products. That's good for you. Dump it in, it cleans everything up, and then it lasts for a long time. You don't have to think about it. We also have an additive upper cylinder lubricant. That is an every time additive. That helps to maintain a really nice clean engine, keeps the injector spray patterns even, keeps everything working at top performance.
Well, that's the way to do it. Gas mileage is important when it comes to alignment, and even more important to keep your engine running at its peak performance. Go to amsoil.com and you can get all your needs, including fuel additives.
My name is Tom Farrell. I built this 1940 Ford. It's a 1940 Ford Coupe that's been slightly modified, but it is all steel car. The owner, it was his first car that he bought when he was 19, and he's had it his whole life, so this is where it ended up. Taillights are custom made, headlights are custom, everything's custom made. I wanted it all flow together good and not look out of proportion, so I think we did pretty good on that. I kind of don't like cars that don't have door handles, but I couldn't come up with a really good looking door handle, so we put the V8 emblem on the quarter window, and it's got a force resistor in it, which tells the door to open. The judges at Detroit didn't really like the fact that I put the emblem on the quarter window. They thought it was out of place until I opened the door. My intention was to go there and win a grade 8, and that's what we got, and we had a good time. It was a good show. We use steel rubber a lot. The Universal catalog has been like my go-to place for anything, because I very rarely ever use the stock gasket, or making custom panels or pieces and you got to seal them, or you got to take them off, you want something in there. They have a very good selection of Universal everything, really, from window gaskets to door seals to whatever. We have them on the doors. They're on a lot of the panels underneath the car. In the trunk, they're in the engine compartment panels, around the shields over the latch. We use it a lot.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by Quick Latch Products. No tools required to operate. American Muscle, the aftermarket muscle car experts. And by Roadrunner Performance, high performance hose and fittings. Welcome back to the PRI Show. It's a hard ticket to get, but Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, has you covered. You may recognize the POR-15 Rust Stop Kit as a 3-step kit to eliminate rust and prevent rust. That's how this company got famous, but Kurt, POR-15 has been evolving through the years. How have things changed over the last decade?
So over the last decade, we've started to dip our toes into different markets, different ideas, particularly with clear coats with our refinish products. A big one we'd like to talk about today is our matte clear coat, which you can see here on this can. But the idea behind the matte clear was we wanted something to match the POR name and durability. And our president and CEO, who also happens to be our chief chemist, Jason Anagnostis, came up with the vision of a matte clear that would have more of a durable finish compared to everything on the market. So what makes ours unique is it's a combination of waterborne and polyurethane, which came from an old hardwood flooring division we used to have. So once this sets up, you can actually wipe on it with a microfiber cloth. It won't leave a shine, to the point where it has the durability where you can pass over it with a buffer temporarily, and you'll see a shine, but the matte will come back to the surface. So to my knowledge, there's no other matte clear on the market that can offer what ours offers.
And ease of application is also important. How does this go on differently than some of the other products out there?
So basically the same application process. It's a basically a 2-to-1 mixture. Ours is 2.4-to-1, but we come with our own unique mixing cup, so there's no guesswork involved. You just mix it up in the cup, put it in your spray gun, and you would apply it like any other matte clear coat. One unique difference, however, is that ours is stirred. With it being a waterborne paint, you don't want to shake the can. You'll find air bubbles in your clear coat, so you want to stir it before you apply it.
Why has this become so much more popular lately?
So a big push lately is the rat rod crowd wanting to keep that rusted patina look on their cars, and they've just started to fall in love with not only the durability, but the look it offers, the rat rod finish.
Well, you can find the matte clear and a whole array of products at POR15.com or PORproducts.com. In motorsports, it's all about being first, and Hoosier Pattern has a major first in the industry when it comes to castings. Noah, how'd you beat everybody else to the finish line?
Yeah, so we were the first shop in 2013 to offer and operate a 3D sand printer in the entire nation. So our president saw a great benefit in evolving this into casting later down the road. With the 3D sand casting, it has allowed us to help with rapid prototyping and really just help with the industry in general.
For the customer, why is it important to have a 3D printed sand caster?
Yeah, it allows for a quick turnaround time. We print about the size of a job box, about the size of a refrigerator. And so with that, multiple components can be printed at once. And so with that, it just allows for more complexity in between.
Of course, turnaround time is tremendously important, but what are some other advantages, Jim, of having a 3D printed sand casting?
The draft, your parting lines, the ease of design, it kind of simplifies things, makes it a little more friendly for the designer.
I'm all for more simple.
Yes.
What's the process if I'm with a race team or a machine shop and I want to get the sand casting from you?
Usually we'd like to receive a 3D model of the casting, and then we'll work with the foundry, whether the customer has a foundry they prefer. We have a great network of foundries. We'll work with them on the gating design, and then we'll get the gated casting file, and then we'll create the mold for it. It'll arrive to the foundry, cleaned. Just take a light air hose, clean off the sand from being shipped and unpacked, and then it can be poured. And then they'll take all the gating and they'll get it all cut off, and it'll be ready to be machined. There's a lot of foundries that some have machine shops, or they work with machine shops. The customer may have a machine shop, but that would be the next step, and then the customer can receive their end product.
If you are a race team or a machine shop looking to design a new part, HoosierPattern.com is the place you need to go. There's over 500,000 square feet of displays here at the PRI Show, and we haven't even scratched the surface. We'll be back here in Indy next week, and we hope you join us once again. So long from Indianapolis. Drive safely.